Hi everybody, this is George Foshin of Best Palos Verdes Homes, and we are visiting Luke Walrad of Guaranty Escrow. And let's go check him out. Let's see if he's in here. I'm good. Luke, say hello to the world.
Hello to the world.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. So, okay. So the business name is Guaranty Escrow. It's an escrow company.
Escrow manager.
Okay.
Vice president.
Vice president.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So describe your business. It's an escrow services.
Yeah, we mainly deal in residential. Escrow, but we do commercial. So I would say we're a residential and commercial escrow company. On top of that, we do several, real estate related services, notaries, net sheets, doc prep if it allows us to do it, and more importantly, just a general, portal for advice, not advice but information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not only sales, but you do refinances as well.
We do refinances as well. Yeah.
So what made Luke Walrad start this business?
Well, I got into escrow because I was a young dude right out of school doing sales in an area that I didn't want to do sales in. And I remember right out of college, I did a little temp job with a title company, and a couple jobs and a couple things after that, I realized that my favorite job that I had out of school was that small period where I was working at the title company. So I called my mom and said, "Do you know anyone in real estate?" She says, "Yeah, let me call my agent." And she called her agent, who happened to be in Palos Verdes. She said, "Well, it's funny, I've got my escrow officer that's looking for an assistant." And I didn't know what escrow was, to be honest. I knew a little bit about it because I was on the title side. But when I got there, I said, "This is perfect. I'll realize, what everyone in the industry does, and I'll just go that direction. I'll see what a real estate agent does. I'll see what a lender does, title rep, and anything. I can see what they do and see if that's the direction I want to go." And it turned out I was really good at escrow, and I just decided after a couple months that that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, because even from my own personal experience, detail-oriented, things get done. Sometimes I don't have to watch my back because I know you're watching my back.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
and we work together well with that. What was it like when you first started? Are there things different? Then when you first started that don't exist now?
Yes, and more so exist more now than when I started. When I first got in, it was 2004, and it was a free-for-all. I mean, if you had a pulse, you were getting a loan, and the housing market was on fire for not all the right reasons in particular. There was refis, everyone was refinancing, everyone was buying homes, there were stated income loans. It was chaos. There wasn't a lot of regulation, and there was certainly not as much paperwork as we have now. Then there was, we went through the entire crash, and I got to see the fallout of that, and stuck that out, survived the crash and the rebound from the crash, and was on the ground floor of seeing all the new documents, all the new procedures, all the new regulations that came into place that we have to be a part of in a transaction. And I got to see that grow from the beginning process to where we're at now, which has really ironed itself out nicely in the last couple of years.
Okay. And have there been any surprises or surprises in any preconceptions that you had that shocked you or surprised you once you really got into stride as an escrow officer?
Well, it was probably the most humbling job I ever took, because you don't realize how much there is involved in escrow. A lot of people just think that it's just pushing paper and taking in money, but there's just you at the end of the day, you really have to know everything about every corner of the industry, and you have to know it very, very well, on top of not making mistakes, on top of being professional, on top of being a mediator of communication.
Right.
I would say,
Right.
So the technical side of it was very humbling. It took me a really long time to get to an escrow officer position, because there is so much information. I mean, you have to know lending side, you have to know title side, you have to know the contract side or agent side. You have to know all the new things coming out for escrow, all the new rules, all the state laws, all the tax state laws that were required, all the federal laws. There's a lot of title side stuff that you don't really realize escrow is involved with, but we're on the back end clearing everything during this process, which takes a lot of work and a lot of knowledge and a lot of information.
Right, and you and I are involved in one just like that right now.
Absolutely. There's always going to be something tricky that pops up that you've got to make sure that you jump on right away.
Okay. So do you consider, the question I was going to ask is what would your customers say they love most about your business? But before that, are agents more your customers? Are the principals more your customers? Where do you get most of your feedback from? From agents or from the actual buyers and sellers of property?
To be honest, I think everyone that's involved in the transaction, agents, real estate, buyers, seller, title, everyone I deal with, I look at as my customers, because I'm basically bringing everyone together.
Right.
And one of, I think, is our strong suits as a company, as in a culture, as well as a culture that Wendy and myself have built over the years, is obviously you have to be technically sound to be in this position and to be able to grow like we've been able to grow. But more importantly, what sets us apart from everyone else is our customer service. Besides our attention to detail, which is number one, is our customer service, and I truly believe our communication is our biggest strength. We make sure we communicate with everyone on all sides: buyers, sellers, agents, title, home warranties, natural hazards. Every single party that's involved, we make sure we bring that communication together so that everyone's on the same page, everyone's talking together, and making sure we get it done in 30 days.
Yep. Okay. Any standout memorable experience that you've had with a particular customer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's
other than mine.
Yeah. The first time I saw you, I was shocked. No, I was kidding. Honestly, the most rewarding part about this job, is you're dealing with people that are buying their first home, that are have gone through the gauntlet of a really tough lending experience. On top of them trying to find the perfect home, which they did. I mean, you're dealing with people at the tail end of probably an 8-month process. And the tail end process is probably really difficult, and there's a lot of emotion involved. So when it's finally said and done, there's nothing more rewarding than actually, shaking someone's hand and saying, congratulations, enjoy your new home. Yeah. And as well as, dealing with people that are selling a home that they've built their entire lives in. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of memories. They could be selling their parents' home that they grew up in, and there's just a sense of connection that you have with someone that's very, very rewarding and stands out. And a lot of times, that's my favorite part of the job.
Very good. Without giving away any trade secrets or anything like that, are there any exciting plans that the company has for the future that you would like potential customers, either buyers or sellers, people that are refinancing, real estate brokers? Are there any exciting plans that you guys have that you'd want people to know about? Well,
we just opened our 4th office in Malaga Cove, and that in itself is very exciting. We've grown. We're a completely independent company, meaning we don't have any brokerages, real estate brokerages that are tied, that own us,
right?
That drive business to us. So the only way that we get business is to do this correctly and do this better than everyone else, and put a better customer service experience, communication experience, better than anyone else.
Well, that was important to me. I mean, when I was looking for an escrow company, it was absolutely critical that it not be a broker-owned firm for a lot of different reasons.
It almost sounds like an oxymoron, a broker-owned escrow company. And escrow by nature is a third neutral party.
Right.
You are a neutral party that is taking instruction, not influenced by anyone, to make sure this deal goes contractually as it should. But the fact that we've done that without a brokerage tied to us is just another side, another proof that we're doing it right. And now that we've opened our 4th office, we're touching the top of Palos Verdes, the bottom of Palos Verdes. We've got Redondo, we've got Manhattan Beach. I mean, we can do I mean, obviously we can do anywhere in California.
Yeah.
But locally we can touch everything from.
You're covered in the South Bay.
Yeah, Santa Monica.
So let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
So there's the Manhattan Beach office.
Yep.
There's the office in the Riviera.
Correct. Yeah.
There's the office in Malaga Cove and Palos Verdes Estates, and then there's the office in Rolling Hills Estates on Silver Spur.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And the beauty of that is there is other escrow companies in the area that have multiple offices, but my feel of it is that they're not connected. We truly treat
that's been my sense too.
We treat all our offices as essentially a network. You know, you can use me as an escrow officer and have a home at the top of the hill, and use our Silver Spur office for dropping off documents, for signing loan docs, for going in and asking questions.
Yeah, and nobody there is making me feel, because I've done that. No one is making me, if I step into another office of yours other than the one here,
Yep.
I never get that feeling of, oh, you're bothering me, you're putting work on me that I shouldn't have to do because Luke is at this location or that location.
No,
everybody is helpful, I have found.
Everyone, we're a family, we're a huge network. We look at our offices as a complete network of escrow offices that can, you know, help the entire community. From the backside of Palos Verdes locally, you know, we can even handle anywhere in Santa Monica. We have a Manhattan Beach office here. We're basically touching all points of the South Bay and Greater Los Angeles area.
And you handled very well the deal that we had for St. Catherine's Church on the home that was donated to the church that was located up in Venice.
Yeah.
And that went absolutely smooth.
Yeah, I mean, in an electronic age that we're in right now, we can do most of the stuff, you know, via DocuSign or snail mail back to us.
Yeah.
And if we need someone to get a doc signed in person, or we need to meet them, we'll go above and beyond and drive out there if we have to.
Okay. What is something most people don't know about your business?
Well, that's a good question.
That's okay. We can
I guess it's just how much is involved in the escrow process.
Yeah.
You know, we try to make it as smooth as possible. We want you to sign documents that we provide you, get them back, and at the end of the day, meet with us when you sign loan documents. But there's so much more to that during the process that we're handling. And, you know, a lot of it is us doing our job on the back end to make it smooth for you guys. This is one of the most stressful times of your life sometimes. You're dealing with probably your most, you know, very emotional connection to the house. All of the money you've worked
selling
for.
Selling
or buying. You may be dealing with all the money that you've ever worked for your entire life. You know, it's a big emotional, big deal on top of a very important financial deal for you. But we're doing our best to do everything on the back end so it's as stressless and smooth as possible for everyone.
I have found that to be true, Luke. Any favorite business idols or role models that you kind of reach out to? I mean, perhaps not in person, but just kind of try to emulate that you've read about.
Well, Mr. George Foshin. No, I have a tremendous respect for the owner of the company, Wendy Bond. She's been an amazing mentor. She's incredibly smart and one of the best professional business people I've ever dealt with in my entire life. You know, and then besides that, I've met probably, I'd say 20 to 30 professionals over the last 10, 15 years locally that have really inspired me and have, you know, I always look to for advice and direction. And so it's been a great network that we've built.
So aside from, let's separate escrow out of it for a minute, just from a business person, any advice that you'd like to share for other business owners?
Communication. I feel like business is 90% communication. You know, if you can communicate with people exactly what your intention is clearly, then things run smoother. People are on the same page. You know, it makes it a lot easier if everyone knows exactly what your intention and your thoughts and your true vision is for what you're presenting to them. You know, there's no dumb questions. There's no overkilling anything. The more you give them, the better as far as communication is involved and making sure that your business runs smoothly. You know, customer service above anything. I mean, particularly in our industry is huge.
Kind of a trite statement, but overused statement, but yeah, customer service is it's what it's all about.
You know, the customer isn't necessarily always right, but you can certainly listen and make sure you communicate,
Right.
so that you are on the same
I
page.
think no, that's a good point though.
Yeah.
Listening is key. If you want to correct someone's misconception about how something is going to work, don't you feel that you have to listen to them first?
Yes. Never interrupt anyone. Hear them out their entire way.
Yeah.
You may learn something.
Yeah, it's been the toughest thing for me personally because I'm always wanting to, direct and control, and it's been one of the hardest lessons that I've had. I even got into the habit where I'll take my tongue and stick it between my teeth and,
Right.
just bite down a little bit just so I can shut up and listen.
They may be redundant, but at the end of the day, you're learning something probably that you didn't know was coming out. And
Yeah.
I know it sounds redundant, but having strong communication is everything.
Cool.
Yep.
Alrighty, man.
That works.
That works.